Hello and welcome to Click, Brand and Beyond podcast. I'm Nisha Prakash.
And I'm Anoop Guru.
At Click, Brand and Beyond, we break down marketing and brand building into easily digestible nuggets for business founders. We teach you how to use the latest technology and trends to grow your business. Let's get started. So, Anoop, really delighted that finally we are getting this episode out and we are talking about the latest trends and tactics and strategies that are shaping the future of marketing, and especially the role of AI in marketing. How relevant is that? Everybody is talking about ChatGPT, and people are coming up with the wrappers around ChatGPT, these are the big LLMs. But what does it mean for people like you and me who have been in the marketing business for some time and have somewhat a deeper knowledge and a different outlook from the rest of the world? We have been making brands and we have been helping businesses build their brands online and offline, but mostly online, mostly digital. So this episode is about what does AI this what is this AI revolution going to do to marketing? Is AI transforming marketing? And we will just start with what your thoughts are on that, and what do you think? Where is it going?
Well, I mean, if there are a few extreme cases always when a new technology comes up, right? One says, okay, pack your bag, shut down your agency, marketing is done, right? It's all doom and gloom. It's
True. Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was good
Yeah.
while it lasted. All you marketers are fired from now on. There's another school of thought which says, you know what? You are the expert. Here are the tools. Now learn to use these new tools and do better things in a better manner, faster, more efficient, lesser cost, etc. So there, some people are looking at it as tools to enhance what you do already as a marketer. There's yet another school of thought which says that you know marketing is fundamentally changed now. There was a side of marketing which was creative, right? Marketing has multiple angles. There's a analytical side, there is a strategy side, the one which runs on spreadsheet, and then of course you have this creative side, which is the advertising that most people associate marketing with. And so the third school of thought says that the creative side is going to be taken up by AI. The strategy, the tactical planning, the analytical side will still
And the content
remain.
creation and the content
Yeah,
creation.
it will still remain. That is the human centric activity that will still remain. Uh, but yeah, I mean, everything is true for the future, right? Till the future happens. So the way I look at it, we have a potential set of tools, bunch of things that are available to us now. How we use it is up to us. Whether it is going to disrupt, kill, remove certain aspects of marketing or not,
Right.
we have to wait
Right.
and see, wait and watch.
Yeah. Recently we ran a wonderful campaign on Instagram for one of our clients, and it was so it's a company which sells mangoes. They source mangoes from organic farmers and they sell it pan India. We build a small story for them, and all the pictures, according to the script of the video, all the pictures were generated in AI, and that video has done phenomenally well. More than 10,000 people have had a look at it, which was very uncalled for because it's a new brand and they really don't have that many followers. And after 5,000 views, we boosted it. And then it just kind of went. And people are, in Delhi NCR, a lot of people are actually sharing it on their WhatsApp. It's gone to to that level that people are sharing it. I love that fact. And it was so easy to do. We just did it in 3, 4 hours. The entire video was done, which is not normally not the norm. And I loved the result. The AI has completely made that whole process so much easier. And the images were so beautiful and consistent because we kind of worked with the impressionist watercolor colorly effect on mangoes and the story as well. Of course, we did tweak it. There was some editing done in the script itself, but overall, amazing results. And I think, what do you think is going to happen if people start using AI? What is that going to do to the creative industry? And since you are in this business and you are just running so many training courses on how to use AI to just generate content, what is going to happen? And I'm talking in terms of, like, say, hyper personalization. How can everybody make unique content very true to the brand? And how is hyper personalization possible, where every product or every brand will cater to its every niche segment, in a way that they want to speak to them in the language that they want to hear and engage with.
Well,
We,
think about it, right? What does a marketing team do? Of course, either you're inside the business or you're running an agency, there are slightly different takes to it, right? If you're running an agency, you're dealing with multiple clients, there is pressure to produce results, whatever those results might be. You could be an agency which specializes in a particular type of, let's say, platform or skill set. It could be you do short form reels, for example, or you do ad creators, or you do ad copies. There are various ways or various types of agencies. Now, given all the skill sets out there, can you incorporate AI tools into your day to day operations? Absolutely. The answer is yes. Irrespective of what type of work you do, AI tools can help you. In fact, AI and automation tools can help you. What does that mean? I was talking to a marketing agency owner a few days ago, in fact, and he says that everything starts with ChatGPT now, the free version, not even the paid version. I said, "What do you mean the free version, right?" Something like ideation, right? Something that used to take forever. Teams had to sit together, people had to bounce ideas, and somebody had to come in and say, "This is good, this is bad." But that gets done in minutes now because ChatGPT can throw a lot of ideas at you, right? It can generate a lot of starting points for you, and then you can build on the starting point based on the different people who's experienced people, the industry expertise, the client input itself, the iteration that is required to get an idea, get a few ideas out there on which you can work, create some ad copy, etc., has shortened. So that means for the agency, the time taken from the initial brief to an idea generation is, I think, 1/10, 10% of the time is it takes. 90% of the time is shaved off now. What does that mean? The agency can take on more work, can deliver more consistent uh, output, quality, right? Can focus on the core, which is being creative with that idea, right?
right.
How does that idea manifest into an artwork or into a copy? That is very, very agency specific. That is very, very human centric activity. But you can do it faster now because the heavy lifting of coming up with a thought, okay, coming up with that spark is being outsourced. Right?
Yeah.
But the real creativity is not being outsourced. You still have to work on things. So yeah, it kind of cuts across. It's there in every piece. Every part of your operation can use AI tools, automation tools today.
Yeah. But where do you actually see um, the real the weight of AI, and what kind of campaigns? One thing that does come to my mind is the email campaigns or email marketing, and I think there are case studies where it has been used really well, especially in B2B. The messages are crisp and the delivery is flawless, and AI really does help. What other use cases do you see, especially in hyper personalization? Because there's so much information and there is so much content, like one feels like drowning. So how can a brand build a very specific voice and use AI to maximum?
Um, See, again, so many different aspects of marketing, right? Let us take a few examples. Let us take an example of something as simple as building a website. let's say a new product is being launched and their website has to be updated, few pages have to be created, or a new company is being formed and a website has to be created.
Right, right.
The typical cycle would be hire a web agency, then they will say, okay, where is the copy? Somebody has to write the copy. The copy undergoes hundreds of iterations. And then by the time the website is ready, it is 3, 6 months later.
Yeah, true.
And it's a never ending job. Nobody's satisfied with the website.
Yeah.
The primary reason being the website is not created for the company, it is created for the visitor, the user,
Visitors. Yeah,
the end user. And nobody
absolutely.
knows whether the end user is going to like it or not, right? So it's
Yeah.
majority of the time it's a guesswork. And once you put out the first version, you're trying to optimize it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's say now we are going to use AI tools. How are we going to use it? First, the website copy, right?
Yeah.
Who is it for? What is it supposed to convey? Some examples. So all I have to do is speak into a mic, basically, right? I don't even have to type because most
Mm.
AI tools can take voice input today.
True.
So I just narrate. This is what I want to get done. Maybe a half a page, 1 page of narration. Later, the AI throws out copy. I can refine the copy. I can say, write it in this manner.
Yeah.
Make it a little more curiosity inducing, or a little more impactful, action oriented, or use one of those copywriting frameworks. Right?
Hmm.
It'll give you the first draft, a fairly good first draft at that. This is not a
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
draft where you have to sit and figure out, okay, what do I do next? No, this is a
Mm.
good first draft.
Yeah.
You pick up the first draft, and then you polish it a little bit. Depending on, if you're a copywriter, you will know how to polish it, right?
Yeah.
And within a day or so, the entire website copy is ready, and it's all
Exactly.
coherent, right?
True. True.
It's not like written by 10 different people. So yeah, now that is part one. Part two, design of the website, right? Again, go to ChatGPT or any of these designer tools, like what we call as the image tools that are there, right? So
Yeah, I agree with that. So, the other very interesting thing that I see happening is, of course, the predictive analytics. How AI can help marketers forecast customer behavior and preferences. And there are so many and there are so many tools which are already doing that, but I really believe that AI can take the game to the next level. I have not had much experience myself because that is not the kind of area that I really work in, but I know that you do. And that will be very insightful, even to tailor or design the content according to what the customer wants to listen or where the trend is rising. That would be very interesting to see how AI can support that. And I think that is going to be a game changer. So, what do you have to say about that? Like, can you shed some light with your experience? And I know you've done extensive work in this area. So, what's your take on this?
let's take the example of the website a little further. Right now, let us say you want to design, you have designed it. Now somebody's coded it, maybe use WordPress or something like that, and the website is ready, right? Now that the website is ready, people are starting to come into, visiting it. And I'm not even talking about the SEO right now. Let's say just through ads and other things, people are visiting the website. All right, fantastic. What is the next step? You want to understand how is the behavior. Are customers actually staying, users staying in? Are they bouncing off? What is happening? What is the actual behavior on the website? So you have analytics tools like Google Analytics and Microsoft Clarity, and all these tools are there. But reading what is happening with that data is painful. Gaining insights out of it is painful. You can easily export all this data. You can download the data and upload it to ChatGPT or to Claude or to other places and say, "Hey, what is happening here? Can you give me some insights?" Right? And you won't believe it, but AI will throw some insights at you, saying that, okay, what, bounce is very high. Seems like people are not liking the content or whatever it is, right? When you ask it pointed questions with that data in place, it'll give you insights. So within a few minutes, okay, some improvements have to be made, and you start working on those improvements, right? So this is the first part of it, just understanding how the website can be created and can be used, the analytical part of it. Forget the predictive analytics part, just the basic analytics, because you have data right now in hand, right? Which is the actual data of people visiting. So how do you say that, okay, if I improve A or B or C, something will work? How,
Yeah.
what do you improve, right? Ask ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
This is
Yeah.
the website. What
Yeah.
do I improve based on the data analytics that has happened so far?
Hmm, hmm,
And you won't believe the type of recommendations that you get. The content is
yeah.
very thin, right? Improve the
Yeah.
content. There is
Yeah.
no catch. Hook is not there, or
Yes.
the
Very
image is,
specific. Very
yeah.
specific. Yeah.
You can get to very specific insights and you can start implementing them, right? It is called CRO, conversion rate optimization,
Right.
and
Right.
people charge a bomb for it, but it is doable. It's easier. It's faster to do this. So especially the broad changes can be done very quickly. The
Very
fine
quickly.
tuned one,
Yeah.
the nuanced one, still takes experience, right? It's not something you can
Yes.
outsource. I'm just talking about the website. And if we go to the next step, which is SEO, search engine optimization, which basically requires you to write a lot of content, optimize it, interlink it, etc. That is a different ballgame altogether. Now you are
Yeah.
trying to not just use AI, but use AI in combination with other things. And let's talk about that
Yeah.
in a bit. Because I feel that's a whole different paradigm. So far,
I
we are just
agree.
talking about ChatGPT.
Absolutely. And even with the AI, do you think, let's say for example SEO, and it is such a Google specific thing, and Google has its own AI, and do you I mean that I'm so excited with the possibility, and I've been thinking about it. I've been, just listening to these conversations on Twitter, and I think that is going to be a niche area, or people are naturally kind of evolve into those very AI specialist in SEO kind of a thing. But what is also scary is that so many people who are not able to keep up with the trend will lose their jobs. What you have mentioned just now, if people if brands are able to get that right, what will that mean to existing set of data analysts and marketers and creative souls? What will it mean for them?
Well, think about it, right? I mean, creativity is not going anywhere. It's still there, right? Because understanding the customer brief, translating that into an idea, getting the idea, taking the idea, producing something, right? The creativity is in that, translating something that a human being wants and producing something that is palatable to that human being, right? This entire transformation of vague briefs to actual artwork or actual copy or actual output is the biggest challenge a agency solves or a marketer solves for you. It is not that a founder of a company or a marketing team of a company cannot do that. Of course they can do that, but they just don't have the skill sets to translate what is unstated into something that is tangible. Right? So
Right,
think
right.
about it. I mean, even an internal team, what type of briefs do they get? We need more leads, or sales
Yes.
team needs more leads.
Yeah.
Then everybody's scrambling around and trying to do. And depends on the business model. Of course, I'm not discounting that e-commerce has a different requirement than, let us say, a B2B company. But then everywhere the brief is, get more sales, increase sales. So branding has to improve. This has to improve that. So there are a lot of these things, but those are vague requirements. Taking something this
That's true.
vague and translating that into something which is tangible and getting a tangible output is the biggest challenge today. And that is not going to go away because the vagueness comes because of a lack of ability for human beings to communicate really well, which is a good thing according to me, because that vagueness allows a lot of people to exist. The job is translation.
Right.
uh, and yeah, I think that doesn't go away anywhere.
Right, that's true. That is very, very true. So I think, just now you mentioned that ChatGPT or any AI tool for that matter can give recommendations. And the first thing that you mentioned was change your content, or the content is too thin. And I think, that kind of brings me to this next point. You have been doing amazing work with your, the curriculum that you're developing around AI and how to use AI specifically for LinkedIn. I have attended that, and I found that very, very helpful. Content creation does require a lot of creativity and also a lot of proficiency in traditional knowledge of story writing or building, story building, the knowledge of arcs and plot points or all of that. But at the same time, AI has made everything so simple and easy for people to do it as well. One can write amazing headlines and copies and even longer form content, and then automate everything. So where do you think this is going to make creator out of everyone, or do you think we are going to see more and more of same or similar kind of content without the personal nuance that is missing? What is your take? What do you think is going to happen with people? Because if you're using AI, where is the magic?
See, I feel that all these AI art tools, AI design tools, is going to lead to an explosion in appreciation of art.
Okay. I've heard, oh, this is first. Okay, tell me
It's
more.
a very, very strange take, but think about it. If anybody can create an image using AI tools, what are they trying to do? They are trying to prompt. How do you prompt a AI, image creation tool? You say, create an image of an apple, right, or a bunch of apple, uh, using natural colors, using this type of photographic lens. Apple should be in the forefront, bokeh mode, for example, right? And these are terms I have learned over the past year. I'm not a photographer or a creative person as such, but then just to create an image, you need to know things. You need to know
Right,
how to create an image, right?
right.
What is foreground, what is background, what is color saturation,
Yeah,
hues.
yeah.
Okay, let us
True.
say you want to create something which is looking a little artistic. What does that mean?
What is it? Yeah,
How many styles are there when you talk about artistic? Are you doing something cubism, minimalism, post impressionist? So there
yeah.
are
Right,
so many types of art, right?
right.
Even to create an image, you need to know that this is the way I want it done.
Yeah,
And how
yeah.
will that happen?
True.
Yeah. You can get it done only when you understand, how to get it done.
Right.
So if if you don't understand how to get it done, how are you ever going to create a good image, a differentiated? So yeah, I mean the whole paradigm of ability to create an image is going to lead people to understand how what art is, what photography is, how do you make an image look like this, right? What is this prompt? Okay, what are the pieces of the prompt? When you say focal length
Right.
should be this much, what does that mean?
What does
More
that
people
mean?
are going to learn, more people are going to appreciate photography and other type of art, which means there's going to be an explosion in, first of all, creating art. More people will want to create, maybe AI enabled, but that's fine, right? More people are just getting into the field now, and
Yeah.
because you can create it, you start appreciating it, then you want to see the originals, you start visiting museums, you start buying books, right? And because of this, you start appreciating art more, and you say, okay, can I draw, can I paint, let me give it a try. It's going to lead to an explosion of art like never before, because you are going to encounter it every day. You want to learn it, you want to understand it. It's not Photoshop, right? It's not picking a picture and transforming it with clicks of buttons. It's creating an image, which means you need to know how to create an image, you need to know how to give the right input. That's a challenge.
Yeah, and I think that is also going to change the curriculum, and that is also going to change, how we are teaching today. I think the entire creative industry is up for a big haul, only because something so phenomenal has happened. And uh, another thing that I've also understood is that for people like you and me who are in the middle of this revolution right now, it just feels like a natural progression. But it is also disrupting so many industries, and especially schools and colleges. Education is one big thing that I see a lot of disruption happening, because It is making, to an extent, teachers superfluous, but people are able to learn it by teaching themselves. I don't know. It's scary and exhilarating at the same time. And what has your experience been, especially with your LinkedIn curriculum, that that training program that, or and the workshop that you have been developing?
Oh, before we go there, I just want to understand, why do you think it's scary?
Well, it's scary, not in a bad sense. It's scary like you're sitting on this giant wheel, or that ride, that there's thrill because you know it's going to be an amazing ride, but yet your insides kind of turn into mush while you're riding it. So that kind of scary. It's a very good kind of scary. Not in a bad sense, but because it is unknown and we don't know the possibilities, we are still pushing the boundaries, we are still extending the envelope, so we don't know where it's going to go. But what is exhilarating is we are in the middle of this whole thing. It's happening in our lifetime. And as long as we are here on this earth, we will be able to see where it is going. It is almost as exciting as my grandmother who saw the bulb. She saw the advent of her bulb, electric bulb, and Skype in a same lifetime. And imagine that journey of the journey, the technology that evolved to that extent. So I feel exactly the same thing. I'm looking at internet and email, and yet an AI in my lifetime. And also, where will it take us while we are still alive? And that's why it's scary. But it's exhilarating scary, not bad scary. Not the horror movie, but in a good way. Yeah.
My experience with even the LinkedIn thing that I do is that, see, LinkedIn as such as a platform is leaning more towards content creators now.
Yeah.
Do you have to be 100% original? Not necessarily, right? One of the biggest challenges I see with people, whoever is in the content creation business, or even if they want to do content creation for a professional platform like LinkedIn, the biggest challenge is I don't have enough ideas,
Right.
right? Somebody was actually complaining, who's a content marketer. This person's job is to create content, social media content for the clients. And after 18 months, the person is saying, one of my clients who's been with us for 18 months, I think I've just exhausted all the ideas. I just don't know
Wow.
what to do for this person anymore. I
Right.
don't think there are any new angles, anything else I can talk about their business. Right? It's done. So I just sat with this person for 15 minutes. We used all the chat GPT, Gemini, and all these tools. And we produced about 500 different topics,
Oh, wow.
new topics, right? And this person was like completely blown away. Like, I didn't even think in these directions.
Right.
Of course, you did not, because there is a limitation, right? You are limited by your knowledge, by your experiences, by your perspectives, and by your biases also. So saying that, oh, I have exhausted all the avenues, and suddenly you have 500 new topics, which is for another 2 years, you're golden, right? Is
Yeah.
amazing. So even with the LinkedIn workshops and even with the services that we are offering now, the first problem we solve is there isn't enough number of topics to write about. There isn't, I don't have idea. We solve that
Right.
problem first. And frankly, AI, if you think about it, is the sum total of humanities knowledge. Right? Not
Right.
everything, but about 80% of humanities knowledge is contained there. Right? It can reproduce it in some manner or the other. So when you ask it questions, it is taking some total of humanities knowledge and helping you get more ideas.
Right.
So the starting point is idea generation. So we solve that problem within minutes. And now from idea to content is of course platform dependent, right? You want to do something on Instagram, it has to be in a short video format, therefore you need a script. From the script you have to design the images or the video itself, video content, and put it together. But these are platform specific, right? I mean, on Facebook it has to be a different type of content, on TikTok it is different, on your blog it is different, on LinkedIn it is different, on Reddit. So all the platforms have their own nuances, their platform centric specifications are there, let us say, right? You have to figure out what those specifications are, and then prompt the AI to actually produce content, and it's
Right.
never 100% original content. I can say, you still have to work on it. It's the first
Mm-hmm.
draft that you get. So I don't think that AI solves the problem of content creation. It solves the problem of idea generation. And then, yes, it will give you the first draft, but that does not mean that is good content, right? I mean, you still have to work on it. What does that mean? Think of it this way, right? I can give you 1,000 articles on any topic within a day. AI can
Right.
produce it. It's not very difficult. 1,000 keywords, 1,000 articles, you are done. But I would caution you against publishing any of that, because
Hmm.
when you're
Hmm.
publishing it on your blog, Google has something they call as human effort. How much human effort was required to get this information out there, right?
Right.
And if it's pure AI content without
Hmm.
any originality, any input, anything from your perspective being put into place,
Right.
then your ranking is going to suffer, right?
Hmm.
Or the content is so generic that anybody else can produce it. So your competitor can do the same thing. Between
Right.
you and them, there is no difference. So there is very, very little differentiation from the content's quality perspective.
Mm-hmm.
That is what we look
I think that's a very valid point. I love what AI can do for idea generation, and not just for LinkedIn, for all kind of platforms, all kind of distribution channels that we have out there. I love the fact that we can brainstorm ideas. I love the fact that we can generate multiple creative angles of the same concept, same idea, and even produce images and content based on what we were trying to say. However, I truly believe that what AI is also going to do with the changing role of a marketer is that the run of the mill, the copy paste model, I think those days are numbered. Uh, it's going to make us more creative and more of a thinking animal, and really push on what we can do creatively, because if the brand has to stand out from the rest of the crowd, people who are working for that brand, the brand makers, they have to really push the boundaries, and AI is going to help them. It's a great tool that can, that can take again to the take a brand and really make it shine from whatever is in the market currently. However, that my last point is the privacy and AI ethics. Again, it's an evolving area. We don't really know much. We are still experimenting, but there has to be some kind of ethics, and also the privacy, because when everything is out there in the open, how do we how do we build these two very important tenets into our marketing strategy?
at. I think ethical concerns are valid and they're important too, because you can use the same AI tools to impersonate somebody, or show somebody in bad light, abuse that those privileges you have, right? And that's a concern. The criminality is a concern usually, and there will be guardrails. I'm sure the legislative guardrails will come in slowly but steadily, right? Also, the companies themselves are putting these guardrails in place, saying that you cannot replicate another person's voice without permission. And all I mean, a lot of things will happen. So technology moves hand in hand, right? The the legislation always lags behind technology. We know that forever. It's true. They will catch up for sure.
Right.
At some point, the technology will get regulated also. But as marketers, I think it's not. My worry is not that somebody is going to use AI very very unethically or not. There are already laws against copyright violation and impersonation of people and all that in the marketing media, advertising media. All countries have that. So the concern is not that. The
Right.
concern is laziness. Not just giving a random prompt to AI and copy pasting that stuff and saying it's my original work and passing it off and making money on it. In the short term, a lot of people will do that, but marketers have to come clean, saying that, what, I am using AI. This is where I am using it. This is where the human effort is going in. I am doing this. If you're okay with it, let's proceed. And most clients are okay with it as long as you're transparent about it. Another factor I do feel is because you can do it, anybody else can also do it.
Right.
The effort taken to produce something is so low, everybody will do it. So to stand apart, to differentiate yourself, you have to put in more effort. You have to differentiate yourself with your ideas, with your campaigns, with the way you are writing content, with your original thoughts itself, right? You have an angle, you have a perspective on it. For example, my perspective is very sarcastic on a lot of things, right? Well, I I kind of question a lot of dogmatic practices in
Right.
the marketing industry, but that's me, right? Me being myself. If I start writing very straitjacketed content, everybody will know that, hey, this is not his voice, this is not the
Hmm.
way this person writes.
Right.
So you have to infuse your personality into what is being produced out there. Yes, use AI as an assistant, don't become an
Hmm.
assistant to AI. That is my 2 cents on it. And I would probably end with saying that it's great to use AI, uh, but infuse your personality, your tone of voice into it, which also means you need to develop a personality ultimately. That's very important.
Right. Right.
That's it from my end, Nisha. Thank you.
No, it's a wonderful point, Anoop, and there are a couple of takeaways, and I think whenever I speak with you, whenever we have these discussions, there's always a golden nugget here and there, and uh, infusing personality and standing true to yourself. I think these are the bigger lessons when a marketer can take, because this day and age of social media, and people are able to see through the lie. So that is the biggest takeaway for any brand which wants to stay true to its customers and serve them, is being authentic. And I really appreciate that you bringing this point in the discussion. I think we can actually devote one whole episode to just this fact itself. I love that. Really excited with what AI can do, and I'm taking a very short term outlook, like really baby steps. My trajectory is really not more than next 2 years, and that is also stretching it a bit because so much is happening. The pace is so fast. We really don't know where it's going to take us. But for a marketer, I think we are living in very exciting times, very interesting times. There are multiple ways we are going to generate AI, and everything is still kind of evolving, still bursting. And the whole AI landscape, it's almost like, if you just kind of animate the whole thing, like every now and then one new flower is just blossoming, one new software is coming out, and one something else is being done, and amazing things already are coming to forth, especially in terms of content. So yeah, I very excited to take this discussion to the next step, and there are so many things that we can talk about. But what is one thing, if you have to pick from everything that is out there, what is one thing that you would like to really delve into depth? Like, what is one thing that you would like to have a deep discussion about?
Automation. It's a very broad topic, but automation of the mundane, of the
Yeah.
operational aspects, of the repetitive things that we do ourselves and make others do.
Right.
I think a lot of efficiency is lost because of repetition, because of uh, donkey work at some level, right? Copy paste things from here to there. A lead is there. Okay, can you understand what this person is all about? All these things, I believe, can be outsourced to machines now, right?
Right.
Automation of workflows are possible. AI systems can add that intelligence required in places to make it simpler, faster, easier. Something as simple as, okay, I have 100 emails coming into one inbox every single day. How do I deal with that, right? A
Right.
workflow system can help you do that. I mean, sort the emails and all that stuff, right? But I'm just giving certain examples. I believe it's not AI alone that is going to impact you as much as a combination of AI and automation systems. And it's a beautiful amalgamation, actually, if you look at it.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's worth exploring.
Wonderful. So, yes, we finish our first episode here, Anoop, and really looking forward to talking about automation in the next episode. And that is it for this episode. I'm Nisha Prakash. You can find me at LinkedIn and my website, nishaprakash.com.
And I'm Anup Kurup. You can find me at LinkedIn and my website, anupkurup.com. We will see you in the next exciting episode of Click, Brand, and Beyond.